Your channel is not failing because of the algorithm. It is not failing because of your content. It is failing because of your brain. And right now, you cannot see it. No one told you this when you started. Every tutorial you watched focused on thumbnails, on titles, on posting schedules. None of them told you that the real problem is inside your skull. Cognitive biases, invisible decision errors your brain makes automatically. They were built into you before you ever picked up a camera. And every single day, they are quietly destroying your channel. And right now, you cannot see it. 5 cognitive biases. 5 ways your brain is working against you. We are going through every one. And after this video, you will never make the same mistakes again. Let's start with the one that kills the most channels before they even get started. Bias number 1, sunk cost. You posted 50 videos. Nothing grew. Views stayed flat. Subscribers stayed flat. Retention stayed low. And you kept going. Because you already started. Because you already invested the time, the energy, the equipment. You told yourself, I just need to keep going. It will click eventually. That is not persistence. That is the sunk cost fallacy. Here is what the sunk cost fallacy actually is. It is a cognitive bias where your brain assigns value to past investment and uses that investment to justify future decisions. In other words, you keep doing something not because it is working, but because you already did it for so long. Economists have studied this for decades. The research is clear. Past investment should have zero influence on future decisions. Zero. Your brain disagrees. Your brain says, you spent 2 years on this. You cannot quit now. But here is what your brain is actually doing. It is protecting your ego, not your channel. Because quitting feels like failure. Pivoting feels like admitting the last 2 years were wasted. They were not wasted. You learned. That is data. But continuing a strategy that is not working just because you started it, that is not loyalty. That is self-destruction. The fix is brutal. 10 videos with no traction. Same format, same niche, same results. That is your signal. Not to quit creating, to pivot the approach. New angle, new format, new hook structure. Something changes. Data decides. Not how long you have been doing this. Not how much you spent on the microphone. The algorithm does not care about your investment. It cares about your results. Start caring about the same thing. Bias number 2, survivorship. You study Mr. Beast. You study Ali Abdaal. You study the channels at the top. You reverse engineer their thumbnails, their titles, their pacing. You copy the format exactly. And it does not work. And you cannot understand why. Here is why. You are only studying the survivors. During World War II, the military wanted to add armor to their planes. They looked at the planes that came back from combat. They noted where the bullet holes were. They decided to armor those areas. A statistician named Abraham Wald stopped them. He said, "You are looking at the wrong planes. The planes with holes in those areas, they came back. They survived. The holes did not kill them. The planes that never came back, those were hit somewhere else. In the places with no bullet holes in your data, you are doing the exact same thing with your channel. You study Mr. Beast and see long videos, high production, extreme challenges. You copy that. But 10,000 channels tried the exact same approach. You never saw them because they never grew. They disappeared before they could be studied. That is survivorship bias. You are building your strategy on a sample of one visible winner, while ignoring 10,000 invisible failures. The fix is counterintuitive. Stop studying the winners. Start studying the failures. Search for channels in your niche that tried and stopped. Look at what they did. Look at where their attention died. Look at their CTR. That is your real map. Track flop patterns, not win patterns. The graveyard teaches more than the Hall of Fame. Bias number 3, planning fallacy. You opened a new document. You wrote the plan. Monday, script. Tuesday, film. Wednesday, edit. Thursday, post. Clean, efficient, realistic. Monday came. The script took 6 hours instead of 2. Tuesday you filmed. 3 takes became 11. Wednesday, the edit took twice as long as expected. Thursday, you were exhausted. You posted nothing. This is the planning fallacy, and it does not just happen to creators. The Sydney Opera House was budgeted at $7 million. It cost $102 million. It was due in 4 years. It took 14. The Scottish Parliament building, $40 million budget, $430 million final cost. Your brain is structurally incapable of accurate time estimation. It is not a discipline problem. It is not a willpower problem. It is a wiring problem. When you plan, your brain imagines the best-case version of events. It ignores delays, interruptions, technical problems, bad takes, creative blocks. It shows you the dream scenario, not the real one. And when the real scenario arrives, you feel like you failed. Your consistency breaks. You post less. The algorithm punishes you. All because your brain lied to you at the planning stage. The fix is simple and permanent. Whatever you estimate, multiply by 3 every time, without exception. If you think a video takes 2 hours, block 6. If you plan 4 videos this week, schedule 2. Under-promise to yourself, over-deliver to the algorithm. Consistency is not motivation, it is math. Build a schedule you can actually keep, not one that looks impressive on paper. You just learned 3 biases. The next 2 are worse. Because the first 3 affect your strategy, your decisions, your plan. The next 2 affect something deeper. They affect your identity as a creator. They make you feel things that are not real. And they are the reason most creators quit, not because of failure, but because of how failure feels. Pay attention. Bias number 4. Negativity bias. 100 comments, 99 positive. People saying, "This changed my thinking. This is exactly what I needed. Keep going." One comment says, "This is boring. You wasted my time." You read all 100. That night, You remember only the last one. 3 days later, you are still thinking about it. A week later, you post less. You second-guess your ideas. You re-edit videos you already finished. 2 weeks later, you have not posted at all. This is the negativity bias, and it is not a weakness. It is ancient survival programming running in the wrong environment. Your ancestors needed to remember threats more vividly than rewards. Forgetting where the predator was meant death. Forgetting where the berries were just meant hunger. Your brain evolved to weight negative information approximately 5 to 10 times more heavily than positive information. That wiring kept your species alive for 200,000 years. It is destroying your posting schedule in 2026. One negative comment activates your threat response. Your body treats it like danger. Your brain stores it with the same urgency as a physical threat. 99 pieces of positive evidence get processed normally, stored normally, forgotten normally. One piece of negative evidence gets flagged, amplified, replayed. And here is the most important thing about that comment. It is not data. One person's reaction is not data. It is noise. Your CTR across 1,000 impressions, that is data. Your average view duration across 10 videos, that is data. Your subscriber conversion rate, that is data. One anonymous comment at 11 p.m. is not data. It is one human having a bad day. The fix: delete it. Block if necessary. Move on immediately. Do not engage. Do not let it sit in your notifications. Do not screenshot it to show someone. The moment you give it attention, you feed the bias. You run on data, not on feelings. The data says you are growing. The data says keep going. Listen to the data. Bias number 5, availability heuristic. You sit down to plan your next video. You think about what to make. 3 ideas come to mind. You pick the one that feels most natural. That is availability heuristic, and it is silently destroying your content strategy. The availability heuristic is your brain's tendency to judge importance and relevance based on how easily something comes to mind. The more recent the idea, the more important your brain thinks it is. The more familiar the topic, the more confident you feel making content about it. But what comes easily to your mind is not the same as what your audience is actively searching for. You make the video that surfaced this morning, not the one your audience typed into the search bar last Tuesday. You make content for the version of your audience that exists in your head, not the one that actually shows up in YouTube analytics. This is why channels post consistently and still grow slowly. The content is good. The creator is skilled. The production is clean. But no one was looking for it. Search demand existed for something slightly different, something your brain never surfaced because it was not already floating in your recent memory. The fix is not complicated. It just requires discipline. Before every video, open your search tool. YouTube search, Google Trends, vidIQ, TubeBuddy, whatever you use. Find out what people are actually searching for in your niche this week. Then check if your idea aligns with that demand. If it does, make it. If it does not, Adjust the angle until it does. Your instinct is a starting point. Search data is the filter. Gut feeling last, data first. Always. You now have 5 biases and 5 fixes. But knowing them is not enough. Your brain will forget. Not because you are careless, because that is how memory works under pressure. When you are tired, when you just finished a long edit, when you're about to publish and your instinct is telling you something feels off, you will not remember this video. That is why you need a system. 5 checks. Run them before every single video. No exceptions. Check 1. Is this approach actually working? Look at the last 10 videos, real numbers. If the trend is flat, something changes before you post again. Check 2. Who failed doing this? Spend 5 minutes finding channels in your niche that tried this format and stopped. What killed them? Make sure you are not repeating it. Check 3. How long will this actually take? Take your estimate, triple it. Build your schedule around the real number, not the optimistic one. Check 4. What negative signal am I carrying right now? If a comment, a view count, or a bad week is in your head, name it. Then remove it from the decision. It is not data. Check 5. Does search data support this topic? Pull up the numbers before you commit. Adjust the angle if needed. 5 checks, 3 minutes, before every video. That is the override system. Your brain has 5 automatic failure modes. Now you have 5 automatic corrections. Run this system and your channel will not fail because of your thinking. It may still face challenges. The algorithm shifts, trends change, competition grows. But the invisible enemy, the one inside your head, is neutralized. Because now you can see it. Save this video. Not like it, save it. You will need to come back to this checklist, probably more than once. Episode 3 covers decision fatigue, how the sheer number of choices you make in a single production day destroys your consistency, even when your motivation is high. It is the reason creators with strong systems still collapse. Subscribe or miss it. MindStack.